What's going on, everyone? It's been a while since I've done a top 10 video aside from the rock and roll heatwave. So this is my top 10 female vocalists of all time, I guess you can say. Remind you, like I used to say in my old videos, this is my top 10, not the top 10. And yeah, the female voice adds something to all kinds of music. It's just can be beautiful, can create a feel to it that no other, like that the male voice can't really create. It's something about female vocalists that are just awesome. So no more of my babbling, I guess you can say. I'm gonna jump into number 10 here. Number 10 is Amy Lee from Evanescence. Now, I'll have to admit, Evanescence has been looked at as overrated, and I somewhat agree, to be honest, but I'm not denying their talent. They have some pretty good music that truly brings in the nostalgia, especially when I listen to them. Mainly because they were pretty popular when I was growing up, like just as a kid and stuff. Remember they did like a music video in the Daredevil movie, which was pretty kick-ass. Amy Lee is able to add that power and emotion that you can really feel through her voice on songs like My Immortal, and it's like a blending of like that hard and heavy with the power and emotion. It's really cool. The song Bring Me to Life is really what comes to mind when you think of Evanescence, I think, though. That song really showed the blending of the metal and the female vocals. Speaking of metal, number 9 would have to be Lzzy Hale from Halestorm. Now, Halestorm is a pretty awesome group altogether, and Lzzy Hale is true beauty in the world of metal and rock and roll. Not just by looks, though. I mean, her voice as well. I mean, she puts a lot of drive into her voice, and she sings the lyrics like she means it. I mean, if you really dig metal chicks, go ahead and check out Halestorm. They're pretty awesome. Number 8, this one's going to throw you guys off guard. Enya. Now, you may already know this, but just because I'm a metalhead doesn't mean I only listen to rock and metal. There are so many other types of music that I really enjoy and I'm fairly open-minded to, and one of the genres of music that I love is new age or ambient music, and Enya is truly a pioneer in that genre, known as new age music. Her voice is indescribably beautiful. I mean, if you're into like meditation and spiritual practices, Enya's music is often good for that. Number 7 is Sarah Brightman. Sarah Brightman's a vocalist who has worked with groups like Gregorian, which is a lineup of Gregorian chanters who cover popular songs in the classic Gregorian style. They did a cover of Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. It was pretty interesting, to be honest. But yeah, Sarah Brightman has a very smooth voice, which shows deep emotion. I've enjoyed a lot of her work over the years. Number 6 would have to be Jackie Evancho. Jackie's an extremely talented girl who can sing some pretty awesome opera, actually. She's actually known as a classical crossover singer, and she's done some appearances on America's Got Talent. She's still all my best to her. She's got a really bright future ahead of her. If you're a kid and you've got the gift of music and you're getting yourself out there, props to you. Number 5 is Holly Henry, an American singer-songwriter from Minnetonka, Minnesota. She's kind of an alternative singer. It's pretty interesting. She plays the guitar, ukulele, banjo, piano, organ, and obviously vocals. I think she's far ahead of her time. She's got great depth in her lyrics that matches her tone in a really cool way, and I look forward to hearing some of her future stuff. Now, number 4 would have to be Chloe Elaine Lowry, who's mostly known for her work with Yanni. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge fan of the new age pianist musician Yanni. I saw him live back in July, and he's one of my favorite musicians outside of rock and metal. In recent years, he's had some of the best musicians in the world to work with, and that includes some amazing vocalists. And one of those vocalists is Chloe Elaine Lowry, who has done some work with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra as well, I think. She's got a beautiful voice, and she's a beautiful lady. Number 3 is Tarha from Nightwish, obviously. When you look back at Nightwish's early work, you remember the insanely wicked opera that harmonized fantastically with the symphonic metal that Nightwish is known for. I have to tip my hat. I don't have a hat, but I have to tip my hair, I guess, to Tarja. She is truly what made Nightwish what it was. Till this day, I listen to the album Oceanborn, as it's one of my favorite albums. I'm in huge envy of her voice. They did a cover of Phantom of the Opera, which is just plain badass. She is more of a classical style vocalist, but she's got the classical vocal range, and but she combines the classical technique with symphonic metal to create a wicked masterpiece. Speaking of that, number 2 is Simone Simmons from Epica. I can never pronounce her name right. It's either Simone or Simone. I don't know. One of my favorite female vocalists, and also someone I've had a major crush on for years. But I'm a guy sitting in my room doing YouTube videos. Do you think I got a chance with that? Epica is much like Nightwish with the symphonic metal combined with the female vocals, but Epica is a little different. Rather than just symphonic metal, it's got a bit of power metal in the mix, and she has a different style of singing than Tarja. Her voice is smooth and quite majestic, actually. The music's just epic, no pun intended. Number 1 would have to be Lauren Kovitch, also part of Yanni. Now, when I attended the Yanni concert back in July, he performed one of my favorite songs that he has ever done, called Nightingale, which on its own is a beautiful instrumental track, but he brought out Lauren Jelenkovic to add the vocal touch to the song, and I can honestly say it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard in my life. She has a vocal range like no other vocalist I've ever heard. It is absolutely incredible. You can probably YouTube one of his performances with her of that song Nightingale. If you YouTube Yanni Nightingale live or something, I'm sure something will come up. I think I've seen one on YouTube actually. I wish the best for her. She has a fantastic gift, and she's got a great future ahead of her. She has that gift of an incredibly beautiful singing voice, and it's incredibly beautiful. I'm not even exaggerating. You guys should check it out. Even if you're not into that kind of music, feel free to check it out. And that includes my top 10 female vocalists of all time. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.